What's going on, guys? GTA for Life 69996 here, and I'm coming at you guys with a video for honor. As you can see on the title, we're coming at you guys with a Lawbringer Advanced guide. Um, so if you're trying to invest some time into Lawbringer, learn the ins and outs of them, you've come to the right spot. I played Lawbringer for 10 reps, and throughout those 10 reps, I can tell you that his playstyle is not. It's not complex. It's not, it doesn't have a lot to it. Like, if there's someone like Valkyrie, she's got a lot to her. She can mix up a lot of things. Lawbringer, he's a really simple kind of, hero. Like I love him because the way he looks is awesome, and his playstyle, like I said, we'll get to that, but as of right now, what I'm gonna say is that his playstyle is, it could get boring. It definitely can, but then again, you can say that for any hero that you play consistently. That's why I put so many reps into, my reps are kind of spread all around because I can't play one hero for a certain amount of reps and still be able to, have fun and not get bored. But that's just me. That's how I do it. So people who get to rep 40, mad props to that, because I don't know if I could ever do that. I don't know if I would be able to sit here throughout 40 reps in the same hero. That is dedication. Something that I don't have. But hey, I play this to just have fun. I love trying out all the heroes and knowing you know all the heroes and what they're capable of. But anyway, enough to keep you guys waiting. Sorry about the long intro. I just thought it'd be cool to add in there. If you watched that, props to you. You could have skipped to part of the video, but hey. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go over his moveset, and then we'll get into some mix-ups that I use and basically my playstyle and how I play. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so getting into his moveset. Now the main thing that you want to hinge your playstyle off of, kind of your moveset is one being his shove. And he's also got the shove alternate, and then he's got a shove mix up and all that. We'll get into that, but these are just his main two mix ups that I like to use. So we have these right here. This is all kind of one move. It's basically the shove, but there's like different things around it, different things adding to it. And then you also have Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Now this right here is good, and it actually kind of it kind of intertwines with the shove, because it can be accessed through shove as well. So just know that these are a really great way to get your opponent or open your opponent up. And yeah, going after or looking at this book, chapter, and verse, the odds of you landing this are not high, as you can see. So you got the light attack. That right there can be cool. Like, say you kind of like whiff your attack back. Can't really do it because she's all up in my grill, but you can do stuff like that. Because his little pokes after heavies are actually really helpful. Like, yeah, they can get parried and they could be unsafe in some situations, but if your opponent isn't fishing for parries, then you could definitely get some lights out of this and surprise them. Boom, right there. You got the like I said, they're really quick pokes, and they get you some fast, quick, efficient damage, and just a great way again to surprise your opponent with something that they're not going to be expecting. Right here you have the Judge, Jury, and Executioner, which is his unblockable mix-up. Boom. Right there. And also a quick heads up, any top heavy attack stuns the opponent and they can't see their guard, so that's a great way to open for mix-ups too. What I like to do is after I do that, I either go for a guard break, or I can do this, do a shove right after. Like I said, we'll get into that, but that's just some stuff that I like to do right off the bat, just telling you guys. So like I said, yeah, boom. Right there, that's kind of, I don't know, the odds of you landing that, what I just did there. This is the Swift Justice finisher. The odds that you landing that are pretty slim. If you're playing someone who doesn't know how to block, you still might have trouble landing that. Then we have Swift Justice, which is looking like R2, R1, R2, so it's going to be heavy. And then right there. But as you can see, his heavies, I think his top heavies around 900 milliseconds, and then these are like 800. So they're not, they're not something like Centurion heavies or Gladiator heavies where you can sometimes land it. Um, you know, if you're out of, you know, you wanna as Lawbringer, he's one of the most, he's one of the long range heroes. So you know, you can actually like throw out heavies consistently with him without a lot of heroes being able to punish you. Which by that meaning getting a guard break. So you can kind of play around with the heavies, you know. Heavies don't stop chains unless you're Conqueror, so you know you can still get your light attack off even if they block the heavy. Just know that. What else are we looking at here? So what I did earlier, which is the heavy, light, and then top heavy, and then you do a little kind of stun thing after. We'll do here. So yeah, like that. That's pretty cool. You're not gonna really land that a lot. He's got his impelling charge, which is actually it's really good in 4v4 modes. Dodge dealing and 1v1 are pretty slim. Also, just know that if they block it, you lose a lot of stamina, and if they parry it, you're instantly out of stamina. So it's basically when you're running and you hold R2. Great way to ledge people in 4v4 modes. It definitely comes in handy. You can also, which we'll get into later, we'll go over his parry follow-ups. After you parry someone, you could actually do the impelling charge after it. So after this, basically, we're going to transition over into the bots who attack, actually, because he is a counter-attacker and he's going to need, his playstyle hinges off of his opponents attacking him to get his mix-ups and his, you know, his playstyle going. So we'll go ahead and transition into that. But offensively, from an offensive standpoint, Lawbringer is a pretty weak character. His top light is pretty fast. I think it's his only 500 millisecond move. Great way to catch people off guard. Not a lot of people can parry this, so just know that it's basically your safest move. His side lights, they're okay too. I think they're about 600 milliseconds. Pretty easy to parry if your opponent's expecting it, if your opponent's good at parrying or reflexes in general. That's pretty much an easy parry for him, but don't be afraid to throw him out every once in a while. Just don't throw him out a lot or consistently because your opponent can catch on and punish you heavily for it. Light parries are, you know, one of the most rewarding things in the game, and they can definitely turn the game around in a heartbeat. So, and yeah, like I said, throw out your heavies. If you're playing someone who has parry follow-ups or whatever, just, you know, kind of play around it. But also, you know, I do this with most of my heroes, is throw out heavies in the beginning and kind of condition them to think that you're for real throwing out the heavy. Then that's when you start going for the heavy feints and boom, and you can go into that and boom, boom, boom. We'll get right into that after. But yeah, just know that when you land a heavy, you're guaranteed a shove right after. The shove doesn't guarantee anything because the opponent can roll away and you won't get your light attack. So right here, if they don't dodge it, you get a free light. But if you're playing assassins, it's kind of dangerous to throw out the light because they can deflect it and get their deflect follow-up off, which I've had happen to me quite a couple times. You can also do a guard break right after the shove if they try to dodge the light. But like I said, it's all about conditioning. You know, you want to try to throw out the few lights, you know, in the beginning, and then once they're kind of like, oh, he's gonna throw out the light again, then you go for the guard break or, you know, whatever. Some people though who are really advanced, and it's kind of hard on console, I guess, because the reactions and all that. They can dodge the light on reaction because when they see the red indicator, that's when they'll dodge it, which is where you start playing around here, and then you could feint that. If they dodge, you can also catch them with another heavy. Say he dodges or she dodges, and you can just keep the chain going. And also another thing to know is that what I like to do a lot is throw a heavy. Even if they block it, you can go right into the ad mortem inomicus, which slang term for judge, jury, and executioner. Now, just know that they can parry this follow-up as well, but a lot of people don't. But if you condition them enough that you're throwing it out, then you could feint it and then catch them with the, you know, a guard break or whatever, interrupting their parry attempt. So yeah, what you gotta know is boom, go right into there. You can feint that. Most people would dodge it, from my experience, so you can feint that into a top light, which is really efficient because the top light being 500 milliseconds is definitely gonna catch them off guard. They probably won't be able to block it unless they have really good heavy feint recovery times. Or yeah, that in general. So yeah, that's pretty much what there is to know offensively. Like I said, it's mainly about just reading your opponent and kind of predicting what they're gonna do next. You know, if you think they're gonna dodge, then guard break them after the shove. Right there. If you think they're not gonna, you know, then you go for the light after the shove. So, you know. Boom. You can also follow up the light attack with the heavy. Chances of them going for the parry is really slim in my experience. But you can also do, if you land that, you can do that as well. Get them off guard with that, like I said earlier, with the light heavy light combo. But yeah, definitely play around with it and see, you know, what your opponent is, what their limits are in terms of parrying and, you know, reacting to your stuff. There isn't a lot to Lawbringer's offense, but that's how I play, and I try to make it work as much as possible. I try to be offensive as possible and as aggressive as possible. More times than not, you'll get punished because Lawbringer doesn't have a lot to him offensively. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into his parry follow-ups, his shove alternate, and all that great stuff. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so now that we're playing a bot who throws out attacks, we're going to go over his parry follow-ups, his shove, and all that. We'll start off with his shove mix-up. So basically, blocking any attack, not unblockables because you can't block unblockables, obviously, but blocking any attack, heavy, light, boom, it guarantees a shove. Now, as it says right here, shove alternate. Now the shove, you know, that's basically what you mainly want to do after every attack that someone throws out. I mean, sure, it's kind of like douchebaggy, but then again, that's kind of all he has, like, in terms of, you know, getting his damage and all that. It's kind of the same thing with Wardens. Like, I don't get mad if you vortex because, first of all, it's my fault for not rolling away from it in the first place, and then second off, that's pretty much his only offense that Warden has. Like, you know, you can go for feints and all that, but, you know, it goes into conditioning and all that. If you're playing someone who doesn't go for parries, essentially you're not going to be able to get any damage, so you're going to have to be forced to vortex them or use your shield bash mix up, you know, so don't be ashamed to do that. You know, it's like, you know, why, I mean, sure, I'm spamming something in my moveset, but, like, it's kind of my whole moveset, so don't really be mad that, you shouldn't be mad that I'm using it, you know, a lot. So, anytime you block an attack, you can shove right there. Oh, she parried that, okay. But yeah, like I said, anytime you block it, boom, go into a guard break or a light attack depending on, you know, whatever. So now that we went over that, and a quick little summary here. So shove alternate. Heavy, light attack, anything, you can do your shove after it. You can go into a light attack, you can go into a guard break. Most people that I play, they don't roll away from it, because that costs a lot of stamina, and being out of stamina against the Lawbringer, although he doesn't really have anything to pressure you while out of stamina is just something you don't want to do. Just something you don't want to be. You don't want to be out of stamina in a game, because it's, you know, you can't do anything. You're not going to win a game being out of stamina. So most people will roll away, you know. Most people don't, but some people will if they're, you know, if they're that stressed out about the shove alternate. So there's that. He also, I forgot to mention, just because it's so irrelevant, is you don't really, the shove, you can dodge into a shove, you know, go in any direction except for back, and you can be dodged on reaction, so a lot of people don't, you know, get caught with that, but you can use it to, you know, dodge moves like that. She goes for the sweep, I can dodge into the shove. But yeah, if you're not doing anything, like, you know, if you're just going for a dodge shove out of nowhere, like, even though you're not countering anything or dodging any attack, it's basically useless to do in the first place. But it's good, if you're going, like, if you know you're not going to get a guard break off of dodging that one thing, then go for the shove. But more times than not, you want to get the guard break because that guarantees a heavy attack and another shove. So there's that. Let's go ahead and get into, okay, the long arm. That's also good in 4v4. So see if I can land it here. You guys have probably seen this move before. Okay. Try to land it there. This guarantees a side heavy. You can go to a shove with that. Um, really bad in 1v1. You probably will never land this in a 1v1 game unless you know, get your opponent off guard or something, like if he's not expecting it. More times than not, it's not gonna work. Let's go over some other stuff here. Make way. So we'll go over the light parries now. Or not the light parry, the parry follow-ups. So we got here. This is Blind Justice. It's his strongest. I think it's his highest damaging attack. It's basically the finisher from that, but you guarantee it off of a light parry. So if you parry a light attack, you press top heavy right after the parry, the light attack parry, and then you go into that, which guarantees 45 damage. It doesn't work on heavies, but light attacks, yes, it does. I'll see if I can see if she throws out a light attack. I can maybe. You can shove them after this. They'll be stunned too, so you can go for a after you shove them, you can go for a light or guard break them again just to confuse them or catch them off guard. They probably, you know, if you're playing someone who's like familiar with the animations, even though they're like stunned, you know, more times than not they'll counter guard break you or do whatever you tried to do. But if you light them after, it's up to you guys. Like I said, it's basically your shove follow up, but it's basically just doing it after the Blind Justice. I'm sorry if I explained that terrible, but yeah, sorry. Then we have the Impaling. This is the follow-up for the Impaling Charge. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure what it's. I mean, like, I've done it off of heavy parries, and I've done it off. I know it's guaranteed off of light parries, but I've done it off of some heavy parries, and some heavies, you know, they've blocked it. So we really just, it's really just kind of whatever. But you should only use this move if you're near a ledge or near a wall. You'll get, if you're near a wall, I'm pretty sure you get up to 50 damage, because you can go into the wall and then do a top heavy like right after. I'll see if I can do it right here. Show you guys. Okay, that was weird. I'm dead. Okay, I guess I'm not. Throw them into the wall. She didn't go into the wall. All right. Tried to parry that. But yeah, you guys get the idea. Really only good near a wall. But yeah. Don't use it any time else. You're better off going for either this. Always use this in like light parry situations, unless you want to ledge them, or you know, if you're near a wall. But if you're not near a wall, you're not near a ledge, then definitely go for Blind Justice. We have his light. Okay, so this right here, it's really only good against long range. So if you parry, like say you parry like a Nabushi or another Lawbringer, and you know you're not gonna get a guard break from their heavy, you use this and it stuns them so they can't see their guard. It's a mix-up tool. You can go for a guard break after it. You can go for a heavy after it. Let me see if I can demonstrate it here. Okay, I'm not used to. So like I said, I stunned her right there. I'm sorry, my parry timings have been off lately, but I'll show it again. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm messing up. Her heavies are so slow that I'm just like, you know, yeah. Anyway, let me see. You can, because it's a light attack. It's considered a light attack, so you can go right into the ad mortem after that, or you can, you know, feint the heavy and then go into a guard break right after the light. Is that riposte? Riposte? Is that how you say? I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. There's also the make away. It's also really good on long range too, because it guarantees 25 damage. And it's basically your zone attack right after a parry. Let me see if I can show it here. Okay. Really? Let me see. Come on. So that's like 25 damage right there. Yeah, really good against long range if you think that, you know, the light riposte isn't going to do much to them, because this is more damage. It's 25, I think this is like 15. So there's that. We'll get into his punishes in terms of out of stamina, parrying out of stamina people. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to, parry her while she's out of stamina. And if I did have a footage from it, see what happened was I needed storage for a game, so I ended up deleting all my 400 footage, and I had to start from scratch of whatever I had. So I know I had footage of that, but I'll see if I can do it right now. But when the time comes, we'll get to that. I'm sorry, but when the time comes, we'll get to that. So once we get her out of stamina, I'll go over. I also made a recent video too, on Lawbringers or all the heroes out of stamina punishes. Go and check that out if you haven't. And so yeah, let me see if there's anything else I can really go over. Like I said, he doesn't have a lot to him. There's not a lot he can do. But let me see if I can just. Another thing you know is the shove. Whatchamacallit, it drains stamina as well. So each shove kind of drains their stamina. I'm just trying to drain their stamina. Okay, well, either way, she's dead, even if I do 2 heavies. But basically, he gets 2 heavies. That's gonna kill her. Okay, I didn't realize I was gonna kill her. But he gets 2 heavies. You can do side to top or top to side. But yeah, that's one to know. That's his best one. You can do a shove after it to, apply some more pressure. And yeah, in terms of parrying out of stamina people, okay, let me go over what I think you should do when people are out of stamina. So, what I like to do is do that attack. So because light attacks, as you know, they aren't stopped. Like the chain keeps going when someone's out of stamina with light attacks. So it's really good to go for that because it'll force some kind of reaction. They'll dodge it, they'll parry it. Maybe they won't have any reaction, but either way, it's something that that can be used as a mix-up tool and definitely create some pressure, create some damage. So say they're out of stamina, you could do whatever. I don't know why she wants. Okay, whatever. These bots are weird, but anyway, you guys get the idea. So that's what I like to do. If they go for a parry, let me just visually, or not visually, let me just verbally tell you guys. So I think the best punish when you parry someone who's out of stamina. So say you parry them and they fall to the floor. What you want to do is do your impaling riposte. I think that does around. I think that does around 15. No, that does around I think it does 20 or 25 damage. Once you do that, you can get another heavy, and that'll do around. Let's see, his heavies are 30, and so 25. Yeah, that'll do like 55 damage. So yeah, it's a pretty good punish. It's way better than doing his blind justice, which only guarantees 45, and plus you can't shove them because they're on the floor. So there's that. I'm so sorry I couldn't get footage for it, but like I said, I just don't have any, and I did, but it got deleted. So there's that. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else. In terms of mix-ups, I kind of went over a lot of them. Oh, here's a little cool thing. You can do is you can actually. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do it. It's kind of cool, and it'll make people. Okay, hold up. Let me just. Right there. The timing's really kind of tight for that, but it's really kind of a cool thing that some people will try to parry, and then you can kind of like bait things out of that. And then hold on, let me see. It's basically okay. But yeah, you guys have probably seen it before as well. Kind of hard to do, but it's definitely like a cool looking move. But yeah, you guys, you know all that stuff. Let me see here. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I can go over because, as far as I'm concerned, the way I play him, half these moves I don't even use because half these moves, quite frankly, are useless. We got the long arm. The make way, yeah, you know. So your bread and butter here will be your shove mix up. So after you do your shove, light, heavy, yada yada, and then your judge, jury, and executioner mix up, which does the unblockable, which does 45 damage. So it's something that they kind of, they take the damage, then that's a lot of damage. If they don't, then you can punish them accordingly. I think that's gonna be it, guys. If there's anything I missed, and I played them for 10 reps, so I know pretty much everything. But if there's anything I missed, I know there's rep 40s out there, whatever. If you guys do anything that I didn't mention, then let me know. Drop it down in the comments. Either way, if you're someone who's looking into playing Lawbringer, just know that he is an interesting hero. He can get boring really quickly, but I stuck it out just because he looks awesome, and it is pretty satisfying pairing lights. So one thing you gotta know is if you're not good at pairing lights or pairing in general, definitely hop in a practice sesh and make sure you get those down. I recommend a level 3 Valkyrie. She throws out lights a lot. Her lights are fast, 500 milliseconds. You get those down, you'll pretty much be able to parry most of the light attacks in the game. If you parry Peacekeeper's lights, then well, you're just amazing. You're an amazing person. But yeah, that's where he gets his most of his damage from. He's a punish. I'm a punish you kind of guy, kind of like Centurion, and that's where he gets basically all of his damage from. So just know that you got to be good with pairing with Lawbringer. He is an extreme turtle. What I mean by that is he can basically stare at you and just wait for you to throw out attacks and keep shoving you and light attacking you or guard breaking you. If that's the case, then here's a little looking at it from the other side of the spectrum. If you're playing a Lawbringer who does that, then you literally just don't throw out an attack. Let it be a boring game. That's if they want to do that, then let them. Can I blame him? No, because he doesn't really have a lot of offense, but it's still kind of a douche thing to do. Um, but going back to what I said earlier, I try to be aggressive, but if it's not working, then you might have to stoop down to that level of just waiting for them to attack so you can get your shove off. That's it. I don't want to hold you guys' day off any longer. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And definitely yeah, hop in some games with Lawbringer. He's an amazing dude. He brings the law. And yeah, Deus Vault. See you guys in the next one. Take care.